Hello and welcome to the 151st show. I am Di Stewart and delighted to be here at Royal Liverpool Golf Club, host of the 151st Open Championship. Now, over the next 2 weeks, I will be reintroducing you to the course as the Open returns to Hoylake for the first time since 2014, joined by a couple of marvellous guests. A winner on the Ladies European Tour, Amy Boulden, and a man who played in 6 Open Championships during an illustrious career, Rob Lee. Amy, you played in 4 Opens. We'll speak about the AIG Women's Open here in 2012 in just a moment, but we have just played the course. You've stepped off the 18th green. Rob, first impressions?
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Love the changes. Love that little 17th hole. We'll talk about that. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, we weren't playing from the purple tees at the back because that's a different test. That's 7,300 and change. We played a shorter version of the course, but really enjoyable. Course, I think by the time we get to mid-July is going to be mint.
Which is not far away. Amy, what about yourself?
Yeah, I loved out here. We're very lucky with the weather as well. There wasn't too much wind today, so it made it maybe slightly a little bit more easier, but really enjoyed it. The greens are in great condition as well.
Yeah, and what about your playing partners? How did they fare?
Di, you were amazing. Rob was
annoying.
I'm not going to say who won.
That's a word that actually does spring to mind. I'm joking, Rob. You were marvellous. It was great to watch you two play golf. It really was, striking it down the fairway. How different is the course set up to the AIG Women's Open in 2012?
We didn't play off the back tees today. We played a little bit forward, which was probably more similar to what I played in 2012. I really liked the new changes. That was kind of cool to see them. Hadn't played them before. But yeah, it's different.
It was very wet and windy and rainy when
it was
you
not
played.
very nice, the weather, when I played here a few years ago. No, so it was a tough test. I didn't play my best either that week, unfortunately.
Well, listen, it's a true test of golf. An Open Championship, you never know what weather you're going to get. I mean, we've had gorgeous sunshine today.
Yeah, we have, but I can see the greens being really good by the time we get to kick-off. And I think this week, the week of the Open, the crowds will be massive around here. And Wales is just around the corner. There'll be a lot of Welsh fans coming here as well.
Absolutely.
Particularly from the Boulden family.
Amy Boulden, your family will be here, no doubt. Now, a quote for you. Hoylake, blown upon by mighty winds, breeder of mighty champions. The words of golf writer Bernard Darwin. Not wrong about mighty champions. The list includes Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Peter Thompson, Bobby Jones, Walter Hagen and J.H. Taylor.
That's about as good as it gets.
The cream rises to the top, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I say, it's a very fair test. It's not gimmicky. There's no Mickey Mouse holes. You'll learn your corn out there, but if you play well, there's a way around this golf course. Even if it gets windy, there's a way to play it. It gives plenty of choices to the players that are right in the cauldron of the heat of an Open, but there is a way around it. And so if you know that teeing off, even in tough conditions, that if you have your best stuff, you can still shoot under par. That's something, as a good player, you relish.
Yeah. Amy, is there any coincidence that these great players have won here?
No, I think it's definitely a course where the cream rises to the top, as Rob said. Just got to stay out the bunkers, keep it on the fairway. Middle of the green is always a good option into all these greens. Stay away from them greenside bunkers and runoffs.
Oh, which I went into many today. But in 2006 and 2014, the last time the Opens were here, one of the main headlines, the lack of wind, which changes the dynamic of the golf course, doesn't it? We've had a fair bit of wind today, but it plays its part, doesn't it, Mother Nature?
Look, every links course on the Open rotation, if there's no wind, the best players in the world are going to take it apart. That's the way it is. These courses are designed for wind and designed to be played if the wind is blowing into your face in a northerly or behind you in a southerly. They're designed to be played in lots of different club choices, but you have to have a really good plan and stick to it. I feel that's what you did today.
Well, I did.
Yes.
Brilliant, marvellous.
Yes.
I did. Really?
Yes.
I don't think I did
thought
at
you
all.
stuck to it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It was a
Amy...
poor plan and it worked all the way round.
That pretty much sums it up. But Amy, how important is your caddy when it comes to wind and the elements?
Absolutely, yeah. I think you've definitely got to have a good caddy that knows the game plan, because sometimes as a player you want to take shots on that maybe you shouldn't take on, especially when you see the leaderboard coming down the last few holes. There's a few risk reward, especially the tee shot off 18. So I think having a good caddy on the bag and sticking to that game plan is very important.
Absolutely. There have been quite a few changes to the golf course since 2014, which we will speak about. And Tiger in 2006 taking irons off the tee. I think he could pull the driver out once, didn't he, in the 4 days. But on our way to the first tee, we did bump into Padraig Harrington, and he shared some of his memories of the previous Open.
couple of things about 2006 in particular.
Just there you go.
It was so burnt out so fast. When you put the club on the ground, it slipped. So you couldn't ground the club close to the ball, so you had to kind of put it 4 inches behind because it was moving, and didn't matter what spikes you wear, you could slip. It was dust.
Yeah.
The only person who could have played the golf course the way Tiger Woods played the course was Tiger Woods. Everybody else was under so much pressure to stop the ball on the greens that we were trying to drive it further down to leave wedges and sand wedges, because even if we hit the fairway coming in from 200 yards, you couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So Tiger, like, people would say, oh my God, why didn't everybody play like Tiger? We weren't able to. It just wasn't, nobody else could compete with that. It was the most remarkable way of playing a golf course. To decide to do it that way.
He hit the longest clubs in for the entire week.
By miles.
By miles.
By miles.
By miles.
Yeah, and just this ball striking his arm play. He did play a softer ball than everybody else. He was very powerful. He was a great arm player. There's lots of reasons why Tiger was Tiger. But this golf course, nobody else could compete with.
Rob, Amy, on the first, this amphitheatre here, what do you guys see looking down the fairway?
All I see is a whole bunch of trouble. And I'm looking down there, and all I can see is knee-high rough. 4 bunkers that you cannot go in because the bunkers this week are going to be so penal. It's very hard to get a line on where you actually want to hit it. Plus, first tee at the Open, grandstand packed, nervous. I'm not sure how you get it on the fairway, but the ball does fit, Amy. The ball does fit.
It does. I mean, it's a very daunting first tee shot. I think any tee shot in an Open Championship on the first tee is daunting, but it's just going to be really important to find the fairway around here. So trying to miss them bunkers, they look very penal down there.
Oh my goodness, it looks treacherous to me. You played in an Open here in 2012. You played in 4 Opens in total, 6 for yourself, Rob. I mean, I can only imagine the nerves Amy stood on the first.
Yeah, I'm actually not too far from home here either, so I had lots of support, which was nice. But
Rent a crowd.
Exactly. Paid all my family to come watch.
That's
amazing.
But yeah, no, I think Open Championship's just my favourite events of the year.
Yeah. How do you handle the nerves though?
Oh, it's good nerves.
Yeah.
It's good nerves, yeah. You want to be
You've got
hyped
the
up. If you come on here and you're
adrenals.
flat, it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over. It's good nerves. You're excited. You want to play. You're in an Open. It's a major.
What's it like putting the ball on the tee peg?
That's not a problem. Never been a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. The thing I want to do is look up after I've struck it and
Yeah.
see it flying straight down the middle.
Okay.
That's really the only thing I care about.
Perfect
I wouldn't
tee
even
shot
care
here.
about you in that instance. I'm concentrating on my ball, and that's it.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
would you take off this hole?
It's again, links course is wind dependent. If it was into the wind, those bunkers are in play. The short bunker on the right hand side, you're still 190ish to the front of the green from there.
Yeah.
So if you lay up, you're going to be at least 200 at the front of the green.
Yeah.
Imagine this place even more burnt out by the time we get to Open time late July. It's going to be very tricky to get your ball to stop when it's running so far at the point you want it to. That's what's so difficult.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to 2006. Padraig Harrington, who we've just spoken to on the first tee, was telling us your club would just slide when you put it down on the ground. It was so burnt out, Amy, back then.
Yeah, definitely. I think playing an Open Championship in middle of July, it's going to be hot. The weather's going to be a little bit warmer than it normally is. And yeah, the grass burns out a little bit. It's just typical links golf. So,
what's the wind doing on this hole?
Not a lot, actually. We're here on a very benign, quiet day. If anything, it's
We're
helping
expected
slightly.
to play good golf then.
We are not expected to play good golf, but we are going to play golf.
We are. I'm excited. Right, let's get to the tee. Come on.
Okay.
Right, let's move on to the second hole, and its name is Stand. It's par 4. It will play 453 yards. How did you approach this one, Amy?
You definitely need to hit the fairway. I can tell you, do not hit it left. The rough is quite thick over there. I thought in a lot of parts of the golf course it's not too thick, but definitely the left side of the second is.
Yeah. What about yourself, Rob?
You're sort of going to have to position your golf ball. You're going to have to figure where you want to hit it, and then depending on where the wind is, that determines what club you're going to have to use to get it there. There are 3 bunkers down there, 1 on the left, 2 on the right, around the 300 mark. Now, bearing in mind that there's a lot of release on the fairways, it'll be firm and running.
Yeah.
Working out how far you're going to pitch it and how far it's going to run to leave yourself just short of the bunkers, not easy.
Not easy.
Yeah.
I went left off the tee,
Yes.
and then I was short for my second, and then I used my putter. So I think the putter is going to be used a lot around the greens because of you're allowed to, because the lies are so tight, aren't they, Amy?
Yeah, there's a lot of runoffs around that green, especially over the back and to the right-hand side. There's 2 bunkers short left. But yeah, there's runoffs like from the front to the back of the green, so kind of positioning yourself in the middle of the green.
Yeah.
And that's a good chance from there.
How did we get on, Rob? What did you do?
Well, because the tees we were playing were more forward, I could blow it over the bunkers and then a wedge on and 2 putts. It was quite straightforward, really. But
really boring
Textbook.
golf, actually.
yeah, but the main tees are 50, 60 yards further back.
Different ball game.
Different ball game.
Yeah.
We didn't play the golf course they're playing when we get to the Open.
It felt tough
We
enough,
didn't.
though. It really did. In 2014, Rory McIlroy set himself up right behind the fairway bunkers and nearly holed his second. Well, he certainly made it look very simple. That's the way to play it. And from the second, we move on to the third and what is the members' first tee here at historic Hoylake. So we're on the third hole. This hole is known as course, coming off the back of 3 birdies, which is just lovely. This land actually used to be the Liverpool Hunt Club, and if you look at the pineapples just behind us, it depicts where the winner's enclosure was. So a little bit of history of the club. We've got the gorgeous, beautiful clubhouse on our left, dates back to 1869. Now this, Rob, this drive here, we've got internal out of bounds.
Yep.
Would the players take on this corner, or is it not worth it?
No, this is 426 yards long, wind dependent. They want to move it down there about 240 odd yards.
Right.
And then you turn a sort of half cock to the right. It's not quite an L, it's like a soft L, and then head towards the pin on the left, over there on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
But yeah, just find the fairway. It'll be an iron for most players. Pretty straightforward. Taking on the out of bounds takes on, when the fairway's going across you, they're very narrow. You're never going to hold the fairway, so no future in that.
Yeah, there's no point, is there really?
No, I think the fairways are too firm to be carrying the out of bounds and then stopping it before the next out of bounds. So, just playing up to that corner and having a good chance in.
Which is exactly what we're going to do. The mounds on the right-hand side, they are where the race course was many years ago, because this was the Liverpool Hunt Club.
Are you into horses? Or?
I love my racing,
do you?
actually. I really do.
Okay,
yeah, Royal
yeah.
Ascot.
All right.
I was there. But I'm going to play safe, because you told
Ladies'
me
Day?
to. There'll be a couple of days possibly.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, we're going off piste slightly, aren't we? Rob, what are you taking off this?
3 iron for me, because the wind is off the left and slightly helping, so it's a 3 iron.
Okay.
Pitch it 220, run it 20.
What about yourself, Amy?
I have a 3 hybrid in
3
my
hybrid.
hand. Yeah.
Okay.
3 iron's a bit hard to hit for me, so
Fine.
I've got a little bit more forgiveness in this.
Yeah.
I have no idea right now.
You know what's funny?
Go on.
As we stood here, the wind's just changed.
Totally changed.
It's just come now
Yeah, it
into
might
our...
change to 3 wood.
And now it's changed again, so
It
it's kind of
has.
gusting around.
That's. I can't wait for the Open.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the club of choice for you
I'm going to
here?
go safe. I'm going to go hybrid. I'm going to follow Amy.
Like it, good.
Okay. Let's give it a go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So third hole, you've done the perfect tee shot. How far did you hit it? It was about 2.
This was about 240 off the tee.
Okay. How far have you got left?
175.
I'm definitely not mentioning the out of bounds on the right where I've gone. Rob, you're slightly in front, but we're going to see Amy hit her shot.
Yeah.
A little bit of wind behind.
Bit of wind behind you. I think it's going to release quite a bit with it being downwind, firm. So I'm trying to pitch this just short of the green.
I mean, this is literally the perfect place to be, isn't it?
It's a bit of a nothing hole really, because you haven't got any options from the tee.
Yeah.
There's no bunkers to avoid. You just keep it left of the out of bounds and move it about 240, 250 up there, and you're looking at a fairly straightforward shot into the green. But that's today. Imagine if the wind is straight into your face. Different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Amy, give it a go. Let's see what you've got.
It's a good swing, isn't it?
Oh, just dreamy.
You'd love that swing, wouldn't you?
Dreamy. I can only ever dream of that.
I'd say that's perfect.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That is absolutely perfect.
Where's that? Oh, there's a little bit of sun that came up.
No,
I think that's pin high.
That has gone 160 on the fly and it's released 15. You're 175
Should we do
dead
a little
hole
high five? Whoop, whoop. Well done.
Oh.
No out of bounds there. Great stuff.
Leave me hanging.
I'm
me
always going to
hanging.
leave you hanging.
I was always poor.
Now, we do not have to travel far from the third hole to get to the fourth tee, where we find the shortest par 4 on the course. Some say this is the first clear birdie opportunity, but it is worth noting that Rory McIlroy parred this hole in all 4 rounds in 2014. What did you make of it, Rob?
Again, it's wind direction that tells you what you need to do from the tee. The long hitters might even have a crack at the green. It's 367 yards.
Yeah.
If they get a bit of down breeze, they might let fly with the driver. But the green's really well protected at the front, and if you get out of position in the rough on the right, getting your wedge
Yes.
to land on the green and stay there, it's not straightforward.
It's a tough green to hit, isn't it? And it's called Road. There's a road right behind it. Love the names to all these holes.
Yeah, I actually think this green is probably one of the smallest targets, even though it's one of the shortest holes on the course. It's actually the smallest target to hit. It's surrounded by bunkers, lots of runoff areas again, and I think it's quite a difficult small target to hit.
Yeah.
Especially if the wind is downwind. I think sometimes it's nice to go in with a more fuller shot.
Yeah, you were sort of hugging the left-hand side.
I was, yeah. The left-hand miss with a left-hand flag.
You gave it a mighty hug with 2 shots actually down the left-hand side. Mighty hug.
Not
It's
now,
actually,
though.
it's actually a pretty straight hole.
Yeah.
Just at the very end where the green is, it just kicks to the right. So that's the thing.
It does.
Yeah.
I feel like it's better to definitely miss it on the right-hand side of the green than go left near those bushes, which we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more green to work with over on the right-hand side.
Look,
Yeah.
it's an iron and a wedge,
It's
right?
an
or
iron
you can
and a
take the
wedge.
driver
Make it
and
simple.
gun it.
Yeah.
It depends. It is a birdie chance. Distance-wise, it's
Definitely,
short.
it felt that. It
Yeah.
really did. Well, back in 2006, Sergio Garcia found the face of the middle bunker but produced a miraculous recovery. Now, even if you don't make a birdie on the 4th, another opportunity awaits at the next. You can go even better, as Tiger Woods showed in the final round of his winning 2006 performance. The 5th, named Long, ironically is the shortest of the 3 par 5s here at Hoylake, just 520 yards from tee to green. I love this hole. I made par on it. I'm just reminding both of you. It's my first par of the day. Rob, what was the view like from the tee?
Again, it's a dog leg from right to left.
Yeah.
If depends which wind you get. If you get the right to left wind, it helps you turn it around the corner, and it gives you a wider fairway to hit in effect. If it's turning right to left, you're going more up the fairway. If the wind's off the left, then you're coming more across the fairway unless you hook it. And it's hard to hook modern drivers, as you know. So it's all about the tee shot. Amy hit an amazing drive down there, 300 plus, left her just a 7-iron into the green.
Oh, it was a beauty,
Oh,
Amy.
it was so good.
Did you like the view from the tee?
I did, yeah.
Suit your eye.
Sets up well for my shape off the tee there. A little bit of a draw with the right to left wind. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Did you make 4 there? Or? It was 5.
So-
It was
it
5.
was
It
a
was 5.
five.
It
It
I
was
had, a bit
5.
of
What did you make,
I had a
Rob?
bit of trouble on the green.
I made 4.
Yeah, I know you did.
But drive 7-iron, Amy.
It was gorgeous. I loved watching it.
two perfect
Yeah.
shots, just one club out.
It wasn't as windy on the front 9 either, which we'll talk
No,
we'll talk about the wind
but
on
the
back
green,
9.
it's a big green. It's 40 yards long.
Yeah.
That 5th green. It's a massive green, and if you're into any sort of headwind, finding that putting surface into it is not straightforward. So it needs an accurate second for sure.
Yeah, there's a trio of bunkers on the right ready to catch you out, isn't there?
Yeah, the risk on this golf course is off the tee boxes all the time.
Yeah.
It's how much do you dare take on, how much will you bring the bunkers into play, and on this hole, how much are you prepared to just chop the corner off a little bit. So the risk is from the tee box.
Very dry, Amy, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah,
And
it's
as
definitely releasing
We're
quite
getting
a lot.
close to the Open. It's going to, we're not expecting a lot of rain, so it's going to dry out even more. The rough's not going to probably grow much more, is it?
No, and the guys are so strong anyway, so I think the rough's not really a problem for them around here. It's definitely more the bunkers off the tee that are more penalising.
Yeah. Do you like the fact that they've got these? You like the runoff areas, Rob, to be
I do around the
creative?
greens, no, very much so. And
Yeah.
there's generally most greens have 5 or 6 yards that the ball can run off and find itself either on a really tight cut, tight pan lie, or then it rolls into the rough and it's hard to get the club that you want on the ball on the chip shot. So if you're a bit of a dodgy chipper, you can find some horrid ones around
You
here.
can.
Yes.
It's a 2-tiered green. As a player, how do you feel about different tiers?
Yeah, I think it gives a little bit more contour into the greens, and you've just got to get the right pace, especially when you're going uphill. The greens can't get them too fast in case it's too windy. So the uphill putts play a little bit slower, but I had quite a few down breeze putts today, which were extremely fast.
Really tricky.
Yeah, it's a birdie hole though.
It is.
4 and 5. You're looking to make some progress there for sure.
From the first par 5 of the round to the first par 3, and there are a total of 4. The 6th hole is called New. It's 201 yards long. From the tee box, we're aiming at another 2-tiered green with the top tier at the back. At the front as well, 3. I remember 3 really nasty looking bunkers. What did you see off the tee, Amy?
I think definitely you can go a little bit right half of this green. It kicks in a little bit from right to left. If you miss the green left, it kicks further left. So definitely the miss would be right half of the green. It'll come feed nicely in.
Yeah, Rob, your thoughts?
I think the par 3s are really nice around here, and you're kind of hitting out towards the estuary.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to play this hole into the wind. It's I think the par 3s, if you can play them in level par for the week, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah, you're in a good place.
It's a really good base to build a tournament over 4 rounds on if you can play the par 3s in level.
Yeah, we've spoken to quite a few members actually going around the course, which has been great to get some little nuggets of information. The tip for visitors: take an extra club to take the right-hand side bunker out of play and allow the slope to carry it to the middle of the green. Pros obviously don't need to worry about that, do they?
No.
That's like a video game. That sounds like a video game. That's real life, not like that.
That was a top tip from someone here. I really like the look of the 6. Having stepped off 18, I can remember the par 3s, and I always think a course that's right up there sticks in your mind if you can remember key par 3s and key holes. Rob, do you ever step off a course and think, oh, it was bland, boring, but you don't do that with this place?
No, you don't do that in general with open venues. No. They're all so nuanced and they're all so famous. We know them all. It's just great to be back here in this part of the world,
It really is.
I think when looking at the grandstanding around here, massive crowds are going to be here. Massive crowds. Yeah. The whole place will look like an anthill. It'll be amazing. And it's going to look much blonder. It's quite green now. Yeah. It's going to look much blonder when we get to 6 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time. It'll have that burnt out look.
Yeah, Amy, there's some amazing vantage points here, aren't there? And you can just imagine that the crowd's going wild on different greens.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good points in the middle of the course as well, where you can get a good view of quite a few different holes. So lots of really good viewing points out there.
Can't wait. Telegraph is the 7th hole and the longest par 4 of the front 9, 481 yards. We had a quick sausage roll and then went to the tee because we managed to get to the halfway hut was after 6. 250 yards to reach the fairway. Imagine that into a strong wind. You hit a great drive.
I did, off the forward tee, so it wasn't quite 250 yards to carry the fairway for me, but from that back tee, it's a great view. You can't really see much of the fairway, which I think makes it quite difficult. Yeah. So really getting a good line and picking something out that you can aim out.
Now, if the wind is the other way, prospect of gorse on the right-hand side and pot bunkers either side of the fairway.
Yeah, it's not an easy driving hole, and the 2 bunkers are to be avoided at all costs. Yeah. And 250 to reach the fairway, something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Even into a 2-club win for these players, that it won't be an issue. But if it was to get really horrid and cold and rainy, and that might be something into the wind.
Second shot, larger. There's more room on the right-hand side of the green, Amy.
Yeah, I think there's not too much trouble around this green. There's obviously the 2 bunkers short left of the green, but it's quite a wide green, this one. I think there's definitely an opportunity around this hole.
The large amount of space on the right is because this green has been moved to the left from where it was in 2014. This is one of the tweaks that we mentioned at the top of the show. And just the 2 bunkers on the left-hand side. They have made some alterations. Not easy to make alterations and suit everybody and please everybody, Rob, in an Open Championship.
No, I don't think you're trying to.
No,
I don't think you're trying to.
What are you trying to do with the changes?
I think the changes are to make the course a more current test. I think that's always in the minds of famous courses with players getting longer and the ball going further. They want to make their course relevant. So I think there's always an element of distance added to that. And certainly when you look at this 17th hole, an element of trickiness and downright evil.
We'll speak about the 17th very shortly. Looking forward to that. Hole 8 is Briars, par 4, 436 yards. Plotting your way to the green, Rob, what do you do?
You don't go left. There's all sorts of horrible gorse and rubbish down the left-hand side. Yep. It's tight. It's a narrow channel, the whole fairway, really, to be honest. And you need to be more left than it looks from the tee. You need to be slightly more towards where you don't want to go to find the middle of the fairway.
Yeah.
2 bunkers down the right-hand side, again, shouldn't be an issue for these players, but you can't go in them.
No, you really can't. The recommendation is, as Rob said, to help with your sight of the flag, is to hit up to the 2 fairway bunkers on the right-hand side. That's the game plan, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is a shortish par 4 for the men, and it's quite a big green. They're only going to be going in with a wedge, so birdie opportunities on this hole.
And on the green, right-hand tucked pin will be protected by 2 bunkers. Other pins are accessible, and they make it a birdie opportunity, don't they? But that right-hand pin, if it's tucked in there, makes it really tricky.
Yeah, this green has not got much going on it. It's pretty flat. There's not too many swales and hollows and bumps in it. So in terms of where you are on the green, it's not going to make too much difference. Okay. Get it as close to the hole as you can. Again, avoid the bunkers down the right. Avoid the bunkers down the right.
And
depending on the breeze here,
one of the drives of the day was your drive on 8. It was right down there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of chased down there. You know, it was fast running. It just ran along.
That's what we want. We want a fast running drive right down there. So the 9th hole, Dowie, par 3, 218 yards this one. Before players make the turn for home, it's the final par 3 on the front 9. On the 9th, you are parallel to the coastline for the first time on this course. Hard to get close to the pin on this green, Amy.
It is. It's quite a narrow green. It's long. It's nearly 40 yards long, but it's quite narrow. So it's 218 yards long, which is, depending on the wind, I think is quite important. But yeah, it's a couple of clubs different from the front to the back of the green.
Yeah, especially when the ground is firm, Rob.
Well, you can see everything. There's nothing hidden about this 9th hole. You can see absolutely everything. We played it into a headwind today, which the members say this is not the normal wind. That may well be playing downwind. Then it'll be even at that yardage, 218 yards, it'll be a very short club for these players. So yeah, it's another one. Look, par 3. Make your 3, move on.
Yeah, stay out the bunkers.
Yeah.
Putting wins prizes, that's no doubt. But the man responsible for course setup here at Hoylake believes only the best at it can win here at Hoylake.
Have to be a fantastic putter and a very good green reader between him and his caddy. And we really do want to have it hard and fast, with really fast runoffs, cut down nice and short and slick, cut often, possibly even rolled. Good green speeds of 10.5 feet, nice firm conditions all the way through. That's the way links golf's supposed to be played.
So there we go, guys. We're through the front 9. What have you made of it so far?
Look, I think we've oversimplified the golf course. I think with no wind, there are going to be low scores around here, no doubt about that. But if you get a 15, 20 mile an hour breeze around this links, it's not going to be straightforward. It's 3,500 yards long, that front 9. Not especially long, you might think. Yeah. But as we know, that there's bunkers protecting each fairway, mostly left and right. Not everybody's going to hit it straight down the middle. They'll have their problems. So I want the course to have wind. And it needs to have wind. Otherwise, we'll see 66s, 65s, 64s. We'll see that.
Amy, would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very scoreable golf course without the wind. And I think what makes it more difficult is the holes go in all different directions. There'll be a lot of crosswinds, which makes it a lot more difficult with them bunkers protecting the holes.
Yeah, I mean, smart plays. So important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you can play this golf course a number of different ways. You can either be aggressive and try and take the bunkers out of play and try and carry them if you're a longer hitter, or you can, play a little bit more conservative and laying up into the bigger parts of the fairways.
The Tiger Woods plan is not available for most people. It isn't available, so they are going to have to bring risk in to get themselves into a good position to have a go at the golf course. Yeah. What Tiger did is, as Podrick said, it's an outlier. It's just not doable. So there is going to be risk from the tee boxes for those that have good scores. They'll be taking on some of those bunkers.
Oh, I get goosebumps thinking about 2006 and what he did. Anything else distinctive that stands out about Hoylake on that front 9, Amy? Tough.
I don't know. Sorry.
That's all right. No. Anything else? Yeah, we can wrap that. Fine. Okay.
I think what you should look at is how fair the golf course is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably fair. There's nothing.
Didn't feel very fair today.
No, but there's nothing hidden. It's nothing hidden there that's going to get you.
That's true.
It's really. It's right there in front of you. Yeah. I think it's a very fair test.
What is the one thing that gets you excited about the back 9 here at Hoylake, Amy?
I think definitely the new changes. 17's a great hole, so excited to talk you through that in a little bit. But yeah, I really like the new changes. I think it's going to be an exciting finish round here.
Rob, what about yourself?
10's quite a strict par 4 now. It used to be a par 5. You can't. There's a kind of the way the hole is shaped in a little bit of a serpentine. You can only hit it so far, and then you're going to run into the rough. So that means that you're going to have quite a lengthy second into that green, regardless of where the wind is. It's just a really tricky, difficult hole to start the back nine. But you've got 2 par 5s this time.
Yeah, I like the 10th and I loved the 17th. I think it's a real challenge. I'm sure it will divide opinion as holes do, and the test will be supreme, being the penultimate hole.
507 yards, by the way, par 4.
The 10th?
Yep.
How far?
507.
Wow.
Par 4.
I didn't play it as 507. I wouldn't want to play it as 507
You played
either.
a lot of it.
I got value for money, I think. Now, Rob, you mentioned the 10th hole, which is 507 yards.
It is.
It's called Far. It used to be a par 5, par 4 now. So the par here for the Open is 71, not 72. What did you make of it? What were your decisions off the tee?
Well, you can only go so far. Around 270, 280 is about your max, and then you're going to run into rough. And to that green, you don't want to be hitting a shot from the rough, to be honest. It's a bit of hit and hope. The green's raised up. There's a horrible bunker short right. It's a par 5 green, essentially, that we now are pressing players to hit into because it's now a par 4. So it's not an easy hole.
Yeah.
It's not a birdie hole.
How much tougher does a course become when it changes from a par 72 to a par 71?
Yeah, I think when you go from a par 5 to a par 4, it then goes from a birdie hole to now a really strong par 4. And especially the 10th hole, it's a raised green. You've got to make sure you've got enough club to get up on that green because it all drops off short and right.
How much did the mounds at 350 yards make the decision for the players here?
Well, you're just trying to hit it 270, something like that, 270, 280, and no further. The rough at the end is you've hit it too far and you've made a mistake if you go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's going to go left. The hole does bend around to the left. Nobody's going over there. So it's to the fat wide bit of fairway that you can see, which is quite undulating. You can get an uphill lie and a downhill lie. Depends where the ball comes to rest.
Yeah.
And then you're hitting to a kind of up green. So it's far from being straightforward, the second shot.
Now, there is just one bunker on this hole and it sits on the front right of the green, as you alluded to, Rob. Like so many here at Hoylake, it's not to be underestimated, as Tiger Woods found out in 2006. Rob, we're recreating the scene here on the 10th, the hole that's called Far, which I've just parred and you've just birdied, which is great. Amy's in the bunker. This is the Tiger challenge because he didn't get out in one, did he?
No, and Amy's plugged her ball the same as Tiger was,
Yep.
but you end up being very close to a very steep revetted face.
Oh.
And even if you get out, there's every chance if it stumbles, it's going to come back into the bunker anyway. So it really has to clear that front lip by quite a bit. And she's
Okay.
plugged and it doesn't look pretty.
That looks horrible.
Yep.
Yeah, so he managed to get out. It took him 2, Amy. Let's see if you can beat Tiger. This is the challenge. Oh! I mean...
Tiger who?
Exactly.
Who?
Amy, all day long.
You're the Welsh goat.
That was, can we high five? Amazing. Well,
Oh, you
it's
want to get it close now?
It's quite close. Right, Rob's going to have a go.
Okay.
I'm going to hand the microphone to you. And what was the plan there?
Open the face and hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Really. That's
Hit
not much of
and
a game
hope.
plan.
There's a lot of power needed. It's you've got to clear that lip. Come on, Rob. Oh. That
One up.
That's a challenge won by Amy. Yeah, you're recreating Tiger 2006 in the first round. Oh, you're out. Well done.
There you go.
Hold, I'm coming over. How did that feel, playing that?
So when I'm talking about the feeling of that, I'm sort of buffered by the fact I'm 4 up. Yeah.
You lost that challenge,
I
though.
did.
He's
Comfortably.
lost that challenge.
Comfortably.
Okay, but it's a brute of a bunker, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
it's the one hazard on this hole, really. Apart from its length and the green being up, this is the place you don't want to be. Just avoid the bunker. A left miss is better than a right miss.
Okay,
Because
let's go.
right of the bunker is a horrible chip.
Well, you were just behind, weren't you, in your regulation play?
Yeah, I know. And I managed to get up and down. But
Up and down. That was very skilled. Okay, come on, let's go and play the punch bowl. Next one. to the Punch Bowl. What a great name. Par 4, 392 yards. The 11th hole. It runs parallel to the sea, Amy, on the left-hand side, and sees the players tack back towards the heart of the course and the clubhouse. This is the second shortest par 4 at 392. Did you par it? I can't remember.
I did par it. This is one of my favourite holes on the golf course, actually. I find the drive kind of feeds into the little bottleneck of a fairway.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was only a little short wedge in from there.
Yeah.
I didn't play the best wedge shot in, but...
you managed to make par, though.
I did make par.
I really enjoyed playing this one. And the impact of the wind on these coastal holes here, Rob, again, you know, one that's affected by wind.
392, if they get a downdraft, the longer players will have a go at this. It's nearly 400 yards, but if they can hit it straight and feed it through the tunnel that Amy was talking about, the narrowing of the fairway, there's one bunker at the front left of the green. They might just have a smash at the screen.
Who's going to take it on, do you think?
You know, people like Rory, people that can hit that far. John Rahm, if it's down breeze, they might look at that and think, do you know what, I'm just going to cut loose with the driver. Otherwise, it's an iron into the fairway and a wedge into the green.
Yeah. Raised tee box hitting to a very narrow fairway down to the right. Fescue to the left, and the players will be looking to carry the hill in the middle of that fairway. But we liked it. You parred it. Did you par it, Rob?
I smashed a drive into the rough on the right. I don't think I parred it, actually. I don't think I did.
I was at the back of the green for 2.
No, I
managed to
didn't.
get up and down,
You
Amy.
did.
Do you remember that?
You hold a great putt there.
I'd like to just mention occasionally when I get up and down.
Boring.
12th hole, great name, D.
D.
I got called D at university a lot. Par 4, 449 yards. The course continues to hug the coastline as we head down the 12th hole after the estuary that we overlook. Another par 4 that doglegs. This time it doglegs, guys, to the left. I didn't. The course tested me here because I find it really difficult, that dogleg to the left.
Yeah, I think you've really got to pick out a good point off the tee here, get a good line off the tee. Both me and Rob were a little bit too far right on where we thought we needed to go.
Yeah.
Can take on a little bit more of that corner than we thought. And the rough on the left-hand side didn't look too much. Raised green as well, so you do really want to be coming in off the fairway on this hole.
It draws you to the right.
Well, the rough that we saw today, for most of the players, if it's 15, 20 off the fairway, you can get a club on it. But trying to control that onto some of these greens that will be firm is going to be difficult. So a lot of the greens that turn, like this one does, a little bit from right to left, if you get it going around where past where the elbow is, where the hole starts to turn, they get very narrow. This is a very narrow fairway once you turn the corner. So I think a lot of players are going to be not trying to go too far, get it into the fat of the fairway before it narrows, and then play up to the green.
Yeah, and this is one of the longer greens from front to back, and it gets narrower the further you go. Could you see that from your approach shots?
Yeah, I think definitely like the position on off the tee, getting it in the fairway. It's not a long hole. They're going to be going in with wedge from the fairway there anyway, so I think it's key to be able to get a little bit of spin on the ball going up onto that green.
Yeah, huge runoff areas to the left of the green could leave pretty awkward lies, Rob.
Yeah, you know, it's a tee-ball hole. Get your ball in the fairway, and depending on where the wind direction is, makes your decision from the tee box. It's not going to be driver all the time for everybody, but maybe downwind, some players might try and take on the corner. But as I say, even though you can reach the green from the rough, controlling the ball from the rough is not going to be straightforward.
Control. Well, this has been greatly expanded, the greenhouse, since the Open was last here, and shaven, so it's pretty treacherous and very steep. So we'll see if the players enjoy that change. 6 holes to go on the 13th, the Alps. Got the grandstand directly behind us on the championship tee. The D estuary to our left-hand side, wind coming off the right. And this tee shot is quite deceiving because there's a runoff area on the left that you can't really see from being here.
3 bunkers down there you can't see. You can see absolutely nothing. Pretty much rough and green. And let's face it, we're right on the edge of the beach here. We are double exposed.
We are.
If the wind comes off that estuary there and buffets a hard left to righter, very difficult green to hit.
Well, it's right to left at the moment, isn't it?
I know, but I'm playing the
the
normal wind off the coastline is going to be blowing across left to right.
Yeah, we're into the evening now, aren't we? And it's been gorgeous so far, but this hole is pretty intimidating.
It is. It's quite a long green. I think it's 37 yards long, but it's quite narrow. So, I mean, if you hit the middle of the screen, you're not going to be too far away from any pins, really.
Yeah.
And all the great par 3 greens they don't run backwards and frontwards. They run at an angle.
Yes.
You think about 12 at Augusta or 12 at Muirfield Village, all the great par 3s.
Yeah.
So when they run across you, they're actually not as deep. in the line that you're playing the hole.
Totally.
So
Really tricky to hit.
that's what's difficult here. You've got to have the club absolutely spot on.
Where are you landing your ball?
Hopefully. For me, this hole, I take
Front
middle of the green.
edging.
I take middle of the green. I ignore the pin and putt from there.
Okay, what about yourself?
Same, yeah. Obviously, the wind's a little bit down for us today, so pitching it
Yeah.
5 yards short and letting it release to the middle of the green.
Oh, sounds beautiful. I can feel it.
What shot can you see?
Well, exactly the same.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good, yeah,
I mean,
good.
I'm living it with you.
I
if
thought-
only I could produce that.
I thought you were going to lay up here.
Well, oh, thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Do you know I've just had 2 pars? Oh
Yeah.
no, I've just bogeyed the 12th.
Anyway,
D,
Enough
which
about
I
me.
love D.
Enough about
No,
me.
it's about me. D, I love that hole, but I did have 2 pars, and no one cares.
You
Let's
did.
play the 13th.
Okay,
Come on,
fine,
come on.
there's plenty of club. Plenty.
Oh, do you know what? This is absolutely stunning, and the leaderboard's behind us. Rob, what is it like to see your name at the top, near the top of the leaderboard in an Open Championship?
So, 2 things.
Yeah.
Anyone that finishes around in the heat and never said they looked at a leaderboard. Loser!
Yeah.
Loser! You're a monthly medal winner.
Don't like them.
You're a monthly medal winner. Yeah,
Right.
you've got to know where you stand.
Constantly
All the
looking.
top players know where they stand. They don't play blind. It's like swimming a length, racing someone and going la 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 la.
Okay,
and at
you
the end,
feel
did I
quite
win?
strongly about
Did I
this.
win?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Love a leaderboard.
Okay.
And love seeing my name on the leaderboard. That's a thrill.
Gorgeous. I
That's
mean,
a
can you
thrill. There's 3
imagine
guys in
seeing
front
it?
of you. Get past them.
Oh,
That's what you
great.
want.
Does it get the blood pumping, seeing your name on the leaderboard?
I think you definitely need to know where you are on the leaderboard, like whether you're on the top of the leaderboard or if you're on the cut mark. I think sometimes it's just as important to know what you need to do in the last few holes to make the cut. Sometimes that's just as important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, having played 13, 5 holes still to play, you'd be going, right, where am I? But what was this green like, and what was the runoff like? Because we couldn't see it from the tee.
Yeah, there is a lot more green left than you can see from the tee. It's hidden by the high mounds and the fescues. The 3 bunkers I mentioned are kind of wilderness bunkers. If you're in there, you've hit it a long way
Miles
offline.
away.
You're a long way offline.
You
But the
are.
green is bigger than it looks from the tee box, and
It's
it kind of
huge.
and it slopes from the front down towards the back of the green. So if it gets firmer
Yeah.
as we get closer to the week itself,
Yeah.
and you get a lot of breeze, this will be quite a good green to hit in the middle of it, just middle of it.
Well, I completely misjudged from the back there. I thought there was a break left to right, and there wasn't really. Amy, how did you get on with your chip?
I went a little bit long on this hole. I was in
Yeah.
one of them runoff areas.
Yeah.
And I had a long chip back to the front of the green. But yeah, it's quite difficult down there. There's a little bit of
deceiving,
fluffy
isn't it?
grass down there as well. So
yeah,
quite difficult.
So a lot of wind as well.
Yeah.
Great hole though. I've loved this hole. I love the par 3s here.
Par 3s are really good in this golf course,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah, this is one of my favourite holes actually, just with the scenery. It's very pretty.
Totally. There's so much to think about on the tee.
What's it called, this one?
The Alps.
The Alps.
Yes,
Okay.
it follows the punch bowl, which follows far.
Have
I
we
know
got
the
Valley
names.
next? What's coming next?
Ooh,
Valley,
let's go
Dale.
see. Come on.
Okay,
Let's
that's
go,
all right.
let's go, come on.
Let's go.
To the 14th, the penultimate par 4 on the golf course, has another intimidating tee shot and big distance to the front of the fairway, called Hillborough. Par 4, as I say, 454 yards. Remember this one, Amy?
I do. This was not my favourite hole on the golf course because I got caught out by one of them bunkers down the right-hand side, which very penal. You're just literally chipping out sideways.
Yeah.
And having to wedge
Not
it on.
easy at all.
It's
really
not.
tough.
No, finding the fairway again on this hole is important. It's another dog leg to the left and picking that line off the tee, getting it in play.
Yeah, intimidating tee shot, Rob, and a big distance to the front of the fairway.
It is. There's 2 bunkers in the sort of play area, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. If you're playing to take those all out of play, you're leaving yourself with maybe 180 yards to the middle of the green, something like that.
Yeah.
So, if you play safer from the tee boxes, you'll be hitting longer seconds.
Yeah. What
So-
about this green?
This green ran from front to back, so it was kind of quite difficult to stop this. I only had a wedge in my hand from after I've chipped out the bunker, and still it was quite hard to get much spin on the ball.
You agree with that?
Yeah, and again, it's a VW bonnet, the front of the green. It's
Yeah.
it's up, so you've got to have enough oomph in your ball to not spin and come back down the slope. And then it's a bit of a horizon green when you're down there hitting your second. You don't really see how far it goes. So, you're relying on your caddy and your yardage that you get it all right.
Yeah, Hillborough, 14th, certainly a toughie. Well, we heard Tiger Woods struggled at the start of the front 9, but a miracle shot in his second round here on the 14th in 2006 summed up a dominant winning display here at Hoylake. Now, the 15th hole represents one of the major changes for the 151st Open. Gone is the 15th hole played in 2014, and what we've played today is an extension of that year's 16th for what is now the longest par 5 on the course. How do we reach the green in 2, Rob?
well, if it's into the wind, you're not getting anywhere near the green in 2. If it's downwind and you don't go in the bunkers, yeah, the long players can get there in 2. They sure can. They can go 320, 340, and then hit something 290, 280. They can do that. Yeah. So it's a long par 5, 620 yards. But you put par 5 in the window for a pro, and he's thinking birdie. He's thinking either I'm going to reach the green, or I'm going to hit a wedge close for my 3rd. Either way, there's more than one way to make a 4 on that hole.
Yeah. Amy, you were just short, weren't you, for 2?
I was. I was in that left-hand rough that comes out, just left of that bunker that's about 30 yards short, and played a nice wedge shot in for a tap-in birdie.
A tap-in birdie, yeah.
Yeah. Pot bunkers, though, I mean, they're everywhere, aren't they, on this golf course? Where are they on the 15th?
Yeah, you've got one one that's 30 yards short. It's not a very nice one to really be in. That's them kind of bunker shots aren't very nice distances, really. But
really tough to play.
Yeah, if you can get down towards the greenside bunkers, a few chances from there.
The bunkers here are like going in water hazards. They're a one-shot penalty. Yeah. And if you try and be greedy, and you will see players do it, they'll just think they can sneak one more club out the bunker, clips that revetted face, and then comes down and semi-plugs. Yeah. You wish you didn't do that the first time round.
Well, you said to me the whole way around, just take your penalty,
just get out. You can't gamble out those bunkers.
Yeah, Sussex slopes on this 15th green, and severe drops around the back and on the right as well. Play it with skill and with intelligence, I would say.
Look, you got 2 par 5s in the last 4 holes. Yeah. Players are thinking there's a chance for me here coming in. They're thinking there's a chance.
Get your birdies. Yep. Pick up some shots. Yep. Okay. On to 16, Lake, par 4, 461 yards. As we play up towards the houses that line Stanley Road at the top of the golf course. Now, most players will lay back from the fairway bunkers, especially to the right-hand side. That's the game plan, isn't it, Amy?
Yeah, it's quite a narrow fairway, this, and the out-of-bounds sneakily comes in a little bit. Rob, you were over there, actually. Came in a little bit, right?
Yeah, I know. Listen, it sneaks in. It's there. It
does.
Yeah. Yep. You just can't blow it right.
Absolutely, and you can hit to a green that welcomes a running shot. You can hit a little low stringer if you want, or be creative on this one.
You certainly can, yeah. But if you're coming in and trying to bounce it onto this green, you're sort of running the gauntlet of the bunkers that protect left and right. Yeah. It's not straightforward. It's just a really good hole, this.
You have to be highly accurate, and that second shot, thanks to the cross bunkers at around 50 yards. Yeah, you've got to be very skillful. Now, on the green, large putting surface that is definitely exposed to the elements, so there could be a problem if the wind is whipping up.
Yeah, it's a big green, this, 42 yards long, and a little bit of a slope going through the middle, so if you get over the slope, it'll feed down to that back right hand side.
It looks a bit like an alien, the shape of the green. It's sort of narrow of jowl at the front and then a very big head.
Great description. I hope you say that on telly as well. Stood on the 17th tee, a brand new hole for the Open Championship. I mean, it's remarkable. You don't often get a new hole in an Open.
No, it's very rare that they build something this small.
Yeah.
It's 136 yards.
Wow. Called Little Eye. Little Eye. Love that name.
Yeah. Why? What does that bring to mind when you think of Little Eye?
It brings to mind a very small target to hit, Amy, and it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little upside down saucepan.
Yeah.
Quite hard to hit.
Raised
Lots
green.
of runoffs.
Bunker before the green looks...
You got a bit of postage stamp thing going on there, do you think?
I feel so.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I feel it. And at the back, there's a beach at the back.
Yeah, it's very nice views when you get on the green.
And the members were telling me that bunker on the left-hand side is really, really cheeky as well and gets a lot of the members.
Trust me. You'll take the bunker on the left-hand side.
Okay.
The bunker on the right-hand side that's green high is a no-go area.
We will let you into a little secret. We've played this hole already. I was on the beach at the back, so I know where the beach is.
I was on the beach short.
You were short, weren't you? That which looks really uncomfortable. And where were you, Rob?
I was middle of the green.
Yeah, I know.
The yardage, it was from the tee we're playing, it's 96 yards. It's just a nice sandwich for me.
Lovely. We're going to do a challenge now to see who is going to be nearest the pin.
Yeah.
I'm
We're playing actually nearest the green. We're playing nearest the green.
Can I play that game?
Yes.
You can play the other
it's
game.
It's not nearest the pin, it's just nearest the green.
Okay, fine. Rob, you're going to be first. I'll take your microphone. What have you got in your hand? He's got a sandwich. And he was annoyingly good the first time we played this hole.
Yeah, he hit a great shot in first time round.
We've just had a drink and hopefully he's stiffened up a little bit.
Yes, it's all a bit.
There we go.
Okay.
This is just stunning though.
Oh, that
that's
looks
a-
good.
Oh,
Go a little bit.
Left, a little bit left.
Oh, it's
Went
short.
short, Rob.
Oh, it's coming
oh,
back.
It's back into the bunker. Oh, Roberto.
I could give you some tips from there.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Amy did really well getting out of that bunker. Okay, Amy, you're next.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a 5 out of 10.
Well, it's nearest the green. It's nearest the green.
It's nearest
I'm
green.
quite near the green,
Yeah, you are.
but about 20 feet underneath the level of it.
You had a little bit of spin on it.
It had a lot of juice on it.
Yeah. The players will not want to be there. Amy, come on, middle of the green. Beware of the beach.
Is this the
At the back?
50? The 50.
Oh, it's a
If it's up, it's brilliant. It could be brilliant.
Oh,
it's
Hey.
close.
Woo, woo.
It's
Oh,
close.
there's a gallery.
Yeah, it's close.
There's a gallery, and they love it. I need
That's
to put-
quite enough of that. It's quite
okay,
enough.
I need to put my glove on.
Yeah.
Okay, can you take that one?
Yeah.
Has anyone got a spare tea peg?
There's one there. Look,
Okay.
Di, right there.
Okay, got it, got it.
Oh,
What
that
is your
felt good.
weapon of choice?
Just pitching wedge. Pitching wedge.
Okay.
I'm skipping.
Yeah, I wonder why you were hopping.
It's going to give me some talent.
Okay. Good hopping skills. By the way, that's probably about 6 feet you've got to get it inside. That's very close.
No pressure whatsoever.
Oh, if it keeps... That's that bunker, Di.
Oh,
Oh, yes, you're going to be in that bunker. You're going to be in that horrible bunker.
You know what? It's just really boring if we're all on the green. I
Yeah.
really wanted to test myself and
Yeah.
up and down.
And you
so
have done. Well
the
done.
prize goes to Amy. Well done, Amy.
Thank you,
There is
thank
no
you.
prize, but well done.
And no cash and no drinks. That's it. But
pat on
Yeah.
the back.
it's a win. Listen, a win's a win. It's a win.
Wins a
It's
win.
a win.
That's 2 from 2 today.
It's 2 from 2, yeah. 2 from 2.
We are on the 18th tee, the final hole of the Open Championship, coming from 17 behind us, which is just a glorious view. The walk from 17 to 18 takes a little bit of time, Rob. Lots going through the head. You're wanting to make possibly par on the last to win the Open. My goodness, it's only 609 yards, par 5.
And into the wind today.
Ooh, I can feel it. Little Eye, 17. Gorgeous hole. This is a beautiful view. You can see a lot of the golf course. See the grandstand, which is the amphitheatre around 18. But where are you aiming? I mean, it just all looks... There's bunkers. How far are they?
280, 290 from here, from
Okay.
this back tee, into the breeze. The long players are probably not going to carry those.
Yeah.
So you need to be to the right. If the breeze is any stronger than this into the wind, Amy, I'm not sure you're really thinking two-shot strategy, to be honest.
No, you just want to plot your way down this.
Yeah, I
hole.
think so. Just taking them bunkers out of play
Yeah.
would be the correct strategy, I'd
Yeah,
say.
because I found every bunker.
You have.
And I didn't use that strategy whatsoever. So it's not really what you... I can verify you do not want to be in the bunkers here because
You
they're
should
really,
just
really
say,
tough.
I love bunkers.
Well,
That's what you
I
should
should, but
say.
I don't. I don't. They are severe. They're treacherous.
Here's the thing look, about this
Yeah.
hole. It depends what you need to make down here. If you need to make 5, you
stood
could
here
be conservative. You
needing to
could.
make 5.
You could be conservative. If you needed to make 4 and gamble, and you could reach, then there's out of bounds on the right. You've got those bunkers down the left-hand side. It's all about the drive.
Yeah, it's like
It's all
internal
about the
out
drive.
of bounds on the right hand side. As a player, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're needing to make birdie down this hole to win the Open, then you've got to take a little bit of a risk.
Yeah,
I think so.
risk and reward. But that out of bounds, does that make you feel a bit ill?
We're not looking over there.
No.
Well, I think...
Try not to.
Yeah, I
Two
think
holes
I know
with
what Amy's
internal-
saying, but you are aware as a player where you're trying to go and where you'd rather not go. You are aware of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets your attention.
Yeah.
You know you can't go there. Bottom line.
No, but you
You've got
guys,
the
you
whirl
played.
on the left.
You've played
All of
in
it.
10 Opens between you, going down 18 with that grandstand. Just tell us about the emotions.
I think there's no better feeling, you know,
Yeah.
seeing the grandstands full, cheering for you. I think it's obviously very nerve-wracking, but
Yeah.
if you can keep your emotions in check, it's a pretty cool walk down the 18th.
You've played in an Open Championship here.
I have, yeah, which was nice. Obviously, I'm not too far away where I live, so it was
Yeah.
nice to have a little bit of home support.
Bigger grandstands when you play, was it?
Not quite, and I think I actually had a Friday afternoon. I missed the cut, and I was late afternoon. The weather was awful, so the grandstand was pretty empty.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
It is. It's always at an Open. You always get that huge bank of people.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
massive humanity. It's just, and if you can walk down there and see your face on that yellow board that's
Which
been there
you
for
do
time
look at.
immemorial,
Yes.
if your name's up there and you're strutting your stuff down the middle of that fairway, nothing better.
I can only imagine in my dreams, and you guys have played really well.
Wanna go,
It's a close
"Look,
game.
look, look,
Just it's what every person who's a golfing fan thinks about walking down the Open Championship 18th hole. What's the score in your game?
Well, the actual main game
That
is
finished after 15. Rob was victorious, but there's a little mini
bag.
game.
There's a bag.
There's a bye, and it's all square going down the
All
last.
square.
So
Ooh.
yeah, this is the real game.
Yeah, the real game.
Come on, Amy.
So yeah, girl
Okay.
power.
Right, okay, 609 yards. We've got this. Team, come on.
Let's go.
Par.
Yeah, but it's a par 5.5 today into the breeze.
Can I have a 6?
You can have a 6.
even
If you make
7.
6, it's a par.
Great.
Okay,
Thanks.
done.
We have played all 18 holes here at Hoylake, and the
Yeah.
most dramatic changes we've seen on the back nine, the changes made since 2014. What do you make of them, and do you think they'll impact the finale, Rob?
They will impact. I mean, the last 4 holes for me is where it's going to be won and lost. 2 par 5s, 16th difficult par 4, and 17 is just waiting to wreck your scorecard. 17, if it's into the wind, I know it's only 135 yards or so, but if it's into the breeze, that target is going to look mighty small, and whichever side you miss it on, short in that bunker or especially right in that bunker down there, getting up and down is it's going to be rare.
Oh, I love the 17th, Amy. Do you?
I do, especially as you walk up onto the green, you see the views out here. It's just so pretty.
It's absolutely gorgeous, but such a test. I went right. We played it twice, and I went long as well. I was on the beach, but even to just play those holes, play those shots, and try and create something, I created absolutely nothing. But I could imagine the grandstands, because just to our left, it's just over there. It's going to be absolutely spectacular, especially on the Sunday of the Open.
Yeah, but you know, 18, we talk about par 5s, it's over 600 yards and there's out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side. It's not a gift for. It's
No.
certainly not a gift for. But there will be guys going for it. There's no doubt about it.
18. Did you like playing that hole?
I did. I thought the tee shot was actually a lot tighter when I got down there than it
Yeah.
looked off the tee.
Yeah.
It's a lot tighter than you think. So yeah, definitely getting the ball into position on that hole, and you know, it's a tricky finishing hole.
And walking onto that green, Rob, the amphitheatre that is the Open. What was it like for you today?
There was no one there. It was empty. Absolutely empty. Yeah. Zero atmosphere. Zero.
What was it like playing with us though? Walking down.
Listen, I had the box seat today. To play with
Yay.
you two was a joy.
Oh.
It was a box seat.
But we can imagine walking down on Sunday. You've played in 6 Opens.
Yeah, I mean the noise starts from you're 40 yards short of the when you get to the very first bit of grandstanding that you get to when you're walking down the fairway. The crowds are great at Opens. They give everyone a round of applause,
Yeah.
and you sort of hear a ripple, or they've all decided. Nah, hamburger pro. Let's leave the grandstand and go get a hamburger.
Oh, stop
When's
it.
Rory coming down here? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it when we spoke about the leaderboard, because you like to
Oh,
see
the
your
yellow
name on
leaderboard.
the leaderboard.
Of all the iconic Open things that you think about, those yellow leaderboards on 18 for me
Yeah.
absolutely
They make
typify.
it.
They make it.
Definitely.
They
Yeah.
let you know that you're at an Open. They absolutely do. Yeah, and there's one on each side, so if you've missed the one on the left, your name will be on the one on the right as well. Yeah.
Amy, it's great to see them, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's one of my favourite things about seeing at the Open. It's when you see them yellow scoreboards, you know you're at the Open Championship.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a special feeling walking down there. And Rob, who's going to be in the mix this year?
Look, you've got the best players in the world coming to one of the great links tests, and they won't all know it the way it's been oriented now. It's going to be a learning curve for them to come and see what they've done, especially with the finish with the 2 par 5s and the 17th.
Yeah.
They're learning a new layout, really.
Yeah.
The 10th being a converted par 5 to a par 4. It's none of it straightforward, but it will identify. You mentioned Bobby Jones, and did you say Walter Hagen and
Yes,
Tiger and Rory?
yes.
I mean, some amazing champions here. I absolutely suspect that we'll get another one at the end of 4 hard-fought days.
Yeah.
But I would love, and this is just me,
Go on.
Amy, I would love a bit of wind.
Yeah.
Let's get a bit of wind. Yeah, I'd love a
Makes
bit
it
of wind.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Amy, which name are you going for?
Oh, definitely a European. I definitely can see a European win around this golf course.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Rory win. Big Rory fan. So
And we'd be roaring as he
rooting for
walked
him.
down the 18th.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. That's been fun.
Thank you.
It's been really good. Yeah, and it's really cold now.
Slightly delayed
it's really
answer.
cold.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you finally said that you enjoyed it. Oh, it was fun. I think whoever's going to win the Open Championship will definitely have listened to these Open
what a
podcasts,
question.
and make sure as well to subscribe to the Open podcast as well for more preview shows. Rob, Amy, it's been marvellous. It's cold. I'm going to go and buy you a cup of tea.
Oh, you? That's
Thank
very
you.
nice. Yeah, it's
Thanks.
quite late now. Look, it's sort of 20 past 9.
Come on, we're off.
I think it's time.
You
It's
were-
time we went.
You were
It's time we
great
went.
fun.
But the day was great.
It was fun.
That was
Thank you
great.
very
Yeah,
much.
Good
you
stuff.
were great fun, both of you.
Awesome.